Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I would like to talk to you about books. That's why I have even created this beautiful stack of books. Believe me guys, I have read all of them, or maybe almost all of them, but I have definitely read this one and this one, not these two ones, but they really do look pretty together. But anyway, in this video, I wanted to give you the easiest books you can read as a non-native English speaker. If it so happened that you clicked on this video and you are a native English speaker, don't worry because you can read those books too. They are perfect for everyone. So to prepare for this video, all I did was go on Goodreads because I absolutely love this website. Guys, if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you don't know which books to read, I highly recommend Goodreads. And especially in this video, I will be talking about books for young adults. But the reason why I chose books for young adults is because I think they are easier for non-native speakers to understand, to read, and to enjoy. Because when authors write those books, they usually use vocabulary that native speakers actually use. So most of the words in those books are extremely useful. So let's begin with the first book. The first book is called Paper Towns by John Green. It is an amazing fiction novel that tells a story of Quentin, an obedient and shy, geeky kid who spends all of his time with two of his also geeky friends. However, he's always had romantic feelings for his neighbor, Margot. Margot is a very unique character who embraces life, who is very daring, and who wants to live life to the fullest. I really love this book because it talks about teenage love, about, being a teenager, about growing up, about adulting. And if you're not a teenager anymore, you're an adult, for example, and you're not sure if you will enjoy reading this book, I'm sure you will, guys, because we're still, even as adults, we fall in love, we talk to different people, we talk to our friends. Like, all of those topics are still something that we have encountered every single day. And obviously the vocabulary that the author is using in the book is extremely useful. A lot of informal words, but actually useful informal words. If you love watching movies as well, you can watch the adaptation with the same name, Paper Towns. And this movie is actually extremely famous and I really like it too. And if you like this book, I highly recommend reading more works by John Green. John Michael Green is an American author, YouTube content creator, and podcaster. His books are extremely popular and he has sold over 50 million copies worldwide. I think you probably know his most famous book, The Fault in Our Stars. This one. And guys, I'm sure maybe you have read this book before. Even if you haven't, if you like Paper Towns, for example, I highly recommend all of the books by John Green. Now let's move on to classics and talk about The Secret Garden by Frances Burnett. This is an incredible classical novel that centers on Mary Lennox, who is living in India with her wealthy British family. She's a selfish, disagreeable 10-year-old girl who has been neglected by her parents and who has been spoiled by all of the servants in the house. But unfortunately, something happens and she loses her parents and becomes an orphan. And then she discovers the secret garden that she has, like all of those different things that are happening in the garden. And obviously, this is an amazing novel with this mystical aspect attached to it. When I read it for the first time, I was absolutely in love with it from the first chapter. Guys, I highly recommend this book because it is very popular in schools in Britain and the United States too. So a lot of native speakers have read this book as well. And again, guys, this book has been made into an adaptation with the same name. If you like this book, I highly recommend checking out other Frances Burnett's works because she's extremely famous for her 3 children's novels. The first one is Little Lord Fauntleroy. The name is very difficult to pronounce. The second one is A Little Princess, and the third one is The Secret Garden. And talking about other ways to improve your English and learn something new, I would like to talk a little bit about our sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes and members across 150 countries who come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Their goal is to make the creative life possible for everyone in this world. I was personally interested in joining Skillshare because I really wanted to improve my editing skills. When I first started my YouTube channel, I knew nothing about editing, filming, writing scripts, etc. So Skillshare helped me a lot. I discovered a lot of amazing classes, but there is one I love the best. It's called YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit with Angie PhD. Angie PhD is an amazing YouTuber and he makes a lot of videos about tech, and I absolutely love his content. And the fact that he has a class on Skillshare was so motivational for me. And guys, if you feel like the world of YouTube and filming is not really for you, don't worry about it, because Skillshare has a lot of amazing classes on different topics, even on reading books. And their classes are perfect for creative and curious people, lifelong learners, beginners, pros, and dabblers. So if you want to start 2023 on a good note, learn a new hobby, land a new amazing job, or even start your own business, make sure to try out Skillshare for yourself and learn a skill on their platform. You can do that by testing it out for yourself for 30 days. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will be able to use Skillshare for free for 30 days. So make sure to do it right now if you want to learn a new skill. But now guys, let's continue and talk about our next book. The next book is called Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and it's perfect for everyone who loves fantasy. This is a fantasy book that has been nominated for a lot of different awards. So if you're not sure if you like fantasy, if you're like, I don't know, I still really recommend reading this book because the plot is very interesting. So Cinder is basically a mechanic, but also a cyborg. She's a second-class citizen with a very interesting past, and like all of those stories are intertwined in the book beautifully. Her life suddenly changes when she meets the handsome Prince Kai. And again, guys, just like in a lot of different books, love always changes something. Sometimes in the books, love is beautiful, but in this book, obviously it is beautiful too, but at the same time, she has to struggle a lot because there's like an intergalactic fight because she really loves this guy, but then something has to happen for them to be together. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's definitely an amazing book for non-native speakers, especially if you like fantasy. Marissa Meyer is an American novelist. Her novel Cinder was released on January 3rd, 2012, and it is the first book in her series The Lunar Chronicles. So if you find Cinder interesting, make sure to check out all the other books in the series. Now let's move on to book number 4, which is called The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is a contemporary novel that talks about such important topics as race and social injustice. The main character is a girl named Star Carter. She's 16 years old and she moves between two worlds. She grew up in a very poor neighborhood, but she goes to a prep school in a very bougie, fancy, white, middle high-class neighborhood. So the balance between these two worlds is shattered when she sees the fatal shooting of her best friend, and it happened because of a police officer. So guys, as you can see, this book talks about a lot of sensitive topics that are especially important to talk about nowadays, such as racism, police brutality, social injustice, and other things. The reason why I love this book so much is because the story is beautifully written, and also guys, the moment this book was released, it became the international bestseller. And also something that a lot of you guys will appreciate is that there is again an adaptation with the same name. So if you like watching movies, you can read the book and then watch the movie. Angie Thomas is an American young adult author, best known for writing The Hate You Give. Her second book, On the Come Up, was released in 2019. So if you like reading books about such topics as racism and activism, her books will definitely hit the spot. And now let's talk about our final book, Fangirl by Fangirl by, I can't speak anymore. And the last book I wanted to tell you guys about is Fangirl by Rowel. It is a romance novel about two twin sisters. They grew up without a mother and with a very busy father. And one of the twins is an introvert, and she lives in this like book world. She loves reading, she loves being by herself, she doesn't really love talking to other people. But the other twin is very sociable, she's very extroverted, and they both consider each other their best friends. But obviously the problem for the first twin, the introverted twin, is that it's very difficult for her to make new friends, right? So this book talks a lot about this like sister relationships, about social anxiety, about how to cope with stress and how to find new friends. Rowel is an American author known for young adult and adult contemporary novels. Especially her young adult novels have been subjects of a lot of critical acclaim. And guys, maybe some of you know her as the writer for Marvel Comics because she's currently writing for She-Hulk. And She-Hulk is a very famous comic. It's also a show on Disney, I think, on Disney Plus. You can watch She-Hulk as well. So yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. These 5 amazing books are something that I highly recommend reading to every single native speaker or non-native speaker out there because I believe that it will help you improve your English a lot. And the best part is these books are very easy to understand and to read, and I leave all the links to all of the books mentioned in this video in the description. Also guys, if you want to learn a new skill, whatever it is, if it's about sewing, about books, about filming or editing, make sure to check Skillshare by clicking the link in the description. Again, as a reminder, only the first 1,000 people to click the link will be able to use Skillshare completely for free for a whole month. If you want to watch another video about books, about literature in English, make sure to click this video right here because in this video I talk a lot about classical books in particular, a lot about American and British literature. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!